Good day, YouTubers. The Palace bullying report has been published. It's out. Yesterday, the Times published an explosive new report making a series of allegations about Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, including that Kensington Palace staff, quote, thought she was a complete narcissist and sociopath, basically unhinged, unquote, that she had humiliated and shouted at staff, that Prince William had been horrified when he was told about Meghan's alleged behavior, and that he wanted the Duchess removed from the two couples' shared household. Okay, remember they were building out 20 rooms in Kensington Palace to right next to Will and Kate, and they were having these raucous parties, and the French ambassador was like, oh yeah, we're going to miss them. Helicopters flying in the middle of the night, all night parties. Okay, well, which is it? Apparently Meghan's behavior was so terrible that William is like, I don't want her living next to me in the house. And her behavior was so bad that William wished to be separated from Meghan on a day-to-day basis. If she's living at Kensington Palace, that's simply not going to be possible. These new allegations come from British biographer Robert Lacey, who is the historical consultant for The Crown, which is very popular. Last year, he published a book about the fallout between William and Harry called The Battle of Brothers, and now a new issue of the title. So he's revising it. That's a weird thing. And Omid Scobie apparently is revising Finding Freedom as well. They're just putting out, it's like the uncut version or something. So weird. Any way to make money. Okay, so according to this report, the Cambridge and Sussex's Joint Communications Secretary, Kensington Palace, Jason Knopf, so Jason Knopf recently left the Royal Palace, has raised the matter of Meghan's alleged treatment of staff, writing in an email to Bill Williams' private secretary, Simon Case, quote, I'm very concerned that the Duchess was able to bully two PAs out of the household in the past year. That's Melissa Tuabadi and another one. And that the Duchess seems intent on always having someone in her sights. So she is always looking for an enemy to persecute. That's a bad sign. A spokesman for the now California-based duo strenuously denied the claims and said that the couple, quote, were victims of a calculated smear campaign based on misleading and harmful misinformation. That's a good comeback. Quote, the Duchess is saddened by this latest attack on her character, particularly as someone who's been the target of bullying herself, and is deeply committed to supporting those who have experienced pain and trauma. Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. It looks to me like the gloves are coming off, as they say. So let's get right into it. Meghan claims that she's the victim of a calculated smear campaign. Well, Meghan and Harry, they just keep attacking the crown. And that's all they do. And now the never explain, never complain is over. And I think the crown is fighting back. So let's look at that. Is Meghan the victim of a calculated smear campaign? Are the gloves really coming off? Ooh, 10 spades. Coffin. Executioner. Some pretty dark cards. We have Roadblock, Executioner, 10 spades, 4 spades. Finger of God, Outside Influences, Permanent Family, Disaster. 24, 6 spades because of the terrible relationship. So yeah, it's like, this is, it's, for Meghan, it's like a sucker punch. I mean, she wasn't expecting this to come from outside, from the family. She wasn't expecting this, and she's, interestingly, she didn't expect this. Bullies don't expect to get
get back what they're giving. And, you see this all the time. People mistreat and mistreat and mistreat people, and then it comes back on them, and they're like, oh, I can't believe it. And it's like they act so horribly to keep the eyes on other people so that it never comes back on them. And that's kind of the reaction that she's getting, that we're getting out of Meghan. The world coffin. This can be secrets. Yeah, secrets on the mind. Things churned up that were long dead. Hightower, Sun. The palace revealing problems, and ruthlessly. The King of Spades is very ruthless. To chop the head off, they've already made their decision, and that's the chopping block. Actions to really cut them. Let's add this up. 8, 21, 22, 31. 8 clubs, the whole world, blasting out to the whole world. So, yeah, the Crown has decided to go ham on Meghan and Harry. They're just going ham on them. They're just going to act as ruthlessly as, 17 things. They said that, they keep blasting out that there was a conversation about Archie's skin color. That's nonsense, because Meghan is in the royal family. And now they're saying, well, there was more than one conversation. And now they're saying, oh, well, it was before we were married. It just keeps changing. Meghan and Harry in their attacks are just absolutely ruthless and unprincipled. How can anyone prove any of this? How can you refute any of this? It's just like throwing mud at people. It's like throwing dirty diapers at people. And so the Crown is, in a much more factual way, there's never been such a bloodbath of people leaving the royal family, leaving the service of the royal family, because it's a great honor to work in the royal family. And a lot of those aides and stuff, they were there 10 years, 20 years. The helicopter pilot, he was there like over 20 years. And she just drove all of them out, and because she was just so horrible to the people around her. And it even said that the report said that she was always looking for a target to persecute, which is so horrible. And that person is called a scapegoat. I was the scapegoat in my family, so I know what that's like. You just get blamed for everything. So it's an official decision to be absolutely ruthless and to reveal things that are going to cause Meghan a problem. And that is what we're seeing. So, interestingly, she just didn't see this coming. She's the one who punches you. You don't punch her back. So, is it a calculated smear campaign? The palace is fighting fire with fire. Absolutely. Let's try... Instead of using up all my cards, I'm going to do one spread at a time today. So let's look at William and Meghan. It is said in the report from Robert Lacey, that William requested to be separated from Meghan on a day-to-day basis. How bad is it between William and Meghan? How bad is this relationship? Was William like, I just can't stand the sight of her? Because there are people like that for me. Okay, I can think of 2 in particular. And both of these people, they were from completely diverse backgrounds. One was a Hollywood personality. But both of these people, they just were God haters. And they were haters of God. And I just couldn't stand to be around them. I just had such a reaction to them. And maybe William had just their presence. I couldn't be anywhere near them. I would just want to smash them. And maybe that's William's reaction to Meghan. And it's an undercurrent. It's not even anything the other person is saying. Yeah, it's not even anything the other person is saying. It's just their presence. So is William? He just can't stand the sight of Meghan. Is that what we're seeing? William and Meghan. William, Meghan. So the report is that William specifically requested that he be separated from Meghan on a daily basis. Is that true? He just couldn't stand the sight of her? Yes, maybe. Yes, very important. All the people, the key to all the people and the home, 10, 19, 5 clubs, 2 or more. That can be, Crossroads can be speaking with a forked tongue. It's a key thing that they're saying to the people about the people in the family, about people close to William. So this is press. Okay, William is taking the attack. He's assuming the attack, and he's saying, I just couldn't be around Meghan. And that is sort of a public, it's kind of a chess move. It's kind of a chess move. And it's not necessarily true. I think he's a bit more tolerant than that. What do we have over here with Meghan? Actions and speaking rooted in the family and reacting. 19-5 clubs. I don't see them having a terrible relationship, Meghan and William. They didn't have a terrible relationship. She did things that bothered him, and she's a hard personality to get along with, but with anyone who's important, anyone who has money, anyone who can help her, she is just love bombing them. So Meghan would have been love bombing William because he's the future king, and many people thought that Meghan was actually making, sexually flirting with William, which is something that she would do. She would be, coquettish and extra. Just too nice, So they didn't have a terrible relationship. But, I mean, Meghan and Harry were a real pain in the butt while they were over there with their loud parties and their demands. Magi and Jacob's Ladder, 13, 18, 5 diamonds, manifesting a process. So the process is they are now discrediting Meghan and Harry. They are fighting fire with hot fire. They are discrediting Harry. The gloves have come off. They have decided, in a systematic manner, they're now going to discredit Meghan and Harry, and that's going to shut them up. Being silent isn't doing it. So during the time that they were in the palace, that Meghan and Harry were in the palace, they were building out the rooms in Kensington, the relationship wasn't terrible. I think the interpersonal relationships, when they would speak to each other, they were very nice and everything, but they were doing all these really obnoxious things behind the scenes. So there has been a decision made that they're going to fight fire with fire. The actual relationship at the time wasn't like, oh, it's horrible. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. It wasn't horrible on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so the report also says they were thrown out of Kensington Palace. And so they moved to Frogmore after Harry and William had a huge fight about Meghan. Let's look at, we'll put William over here again. William and Harry. Did William and Harry have a huge fight about Meghan? Did William and Harry have a huge fight about Meghan, and that's why the move to Frogmore happened? And they never lived in Frogmore. They made all these, William, Harry. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. I kept it zoomed. Did William and Harry have a huge fight about Meghan? Well, a split of their path together. They were joined and now they split. 9, 11, 3 clubs. So here's a fight that resulted, here's a discussion that resulted in them splitting up, talking about the daily activities, 7, and being joined together, bound together. William, problems, talking, messages about problems in the family. So William did approach Harry and talk to him about problems. 13 in the family, 4 hearts, family. So William did approach Harry, and he had a problem with Meghan. What was Harry's reaction? High Tower, separation, conflict, and, oh, I'm really mad. Okay, so 13 and 9, 22, 25, 7 hearts, we're going to go in a different direction. So this absolutely did happen. William did approach Harry, and Harry reacted very badly because Harry is a puppet. He's not Harry anymore. He's the hand puppet of Meghan. And so Meghan would have overreacted, and now we're going to move, and oh, I'm so mad, and I was so nice to him, but behind the scenes, they're throwing parties until 5 in the morning. Helicopters are flying in. Nobody's getting any sleep. I mean, how do you raise small children in an environment like that? Well, it's kind of hard. So, but to his face, she's being like super nice. Oh, William, what can I do for you? So there was this discussion, and Harry had a very bad reaction, and it did result in them splitting up. So that absolutely did happen. Let's back up here. So the plan, of course, is to have Harry and Meghan's popularity suffer, okay? Because now the palace is on the attack. So is Meghan and Harry's popularity now going to suffer? Finally, is it going to suffer? What's going to happen as a result of this latest attack? What's going to happen to Meghan and Harry's popularity? And I'm wondering if they'll kind of back off a bit. Palace outside. All right. What's going to happen as a result of this? Finger of God, outside influences from the palace. The palace is lobbing bombs over there, and in front of all the people. 13, 23, 6 clubs, solid family. This is shoring up the palace. It is making the palace look good, ironically, and this is what people do, this is what Meghan is doing. Meghan is making herself look better by throwing stones at the palace. It's working in reverse. The palace is throwing the stones back, and it's making them look better in the eyes of the world. Okay, Fox, clever and bad relationship. Actions. They're going to rethink all these attacks. So we have the Jack of Diamonds and the Queen of Diamonds, brother and sister energies, karmic relationship, acting cleverly about the relationship and their words, and thinking about how they're going to do. It is changing Harry and Meghan. Meghan especially, because Meghan is making all the decisions. They're going to have to revamp their approach to attacking the palace. Let's add this up. 23, 29, 32, 38. 36 is 9 spades, 10 hearts, 10 diamonds, palace. Their actions toward the palace, they're really going to rethink what they're doing, because the palace is formidable. You don't mess with them. And I think the palace is now winning. So this was a very good move for the palace, taking the gloves off, attacking in return. Very nice move. It's working very, very well for the palace. And Meghan, I think Meghan is making all the decisions, because Harry was never like this. And that's what my cards are telling me, so that's what I'm going to go with, even though everybody wants to blame Harry. And the good news is everyone is going to blame Harry. Harry's going to get all the blame, no matter what's really going on. Harry is going to get all the blame, and he's going to get all the pain and the trouble in the end from what's going on here. So, irregardless of what the cards say or what I think or what you think, Harry's going to get the stick. He's going to get the stick, and Meghan's going to get the cream. So they're definitely going to retool and revamp their approach. Are they going to back off a little bit? You know, they're feeling a little rattled. Let's just see. Are they going to back off a little bit? Are Harry and Meghan going to back off their attacks from the palace now? Are they going to back off? Okay, because that's what the palace wants. They want them to just go away. Stop pretending to be royals. Stop talking about how royal they are. Stop talking about how everybody's persecuting them. They're in California. How are you being persecuted? You know, who's oppressing you, man? That's, you know, this is the nonsense that we hear all the day long in society right now, that everybody's a victim. Who's victimizing you? Somebody you've never met, somebody you don't know, somebody who's long dead hundreds of years ago. You're being oppressed by this person? That's just, do you have a mental illness? Yes, you do. If you believe that you're being oppressed by somebody who's long dead. And there's just simply no evidence of any of this. So are they going to back off? Are Harry and Meghan going to back off a bit now? Devil. Wow. Ooh. Are we looking at, are Harry and Meghan going to back off a bit now? Devil, right in the middle. Devil will do anything. Absolutely malicious, capricious, just absolutely nuts. Will cut their own hand off to spite their face, cut their nose off to spite their face. Manifesting evil, but looking like an angel. 22, 32, 35, 9 clubs. They're going to, and 9 clubs is like a court card, official. I think they're going to keep raising it to the highest place. They're not going to stop. They're rattled a little bit, but they're not going to stop attacking. Big change, decision to expose, and big change, and they're going to even highlight more. Okay, so the old adage is that 2 wrongs make a right, so 500 wrongs make a right. Okay, and I think they're going to double down. They're just going to keep. They are rattled by the palace fighting back, but they're going to go even harder at them. Harry and Meghan are going to attack even harder, and I think it's going to destroy them. It's definitely going to destroy Harry. I don't know if it will destroy Meghan ultimately, but this looks to me like they're going to go even harder after the palace. So, interesting. Let's back up here a little bit. So that's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Many thanks to the generous folks who buy me a cup of tea. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment.